Hey everybody, I'm Taylor.
I'm Joe.
And this is the We Tell You show for a Friday. Hey, welcome to Casual Friday. We're wearing t-shirts and jeans or shorts because it's hot in here in our garage studio 2.0.
We're a little shiny today.
A little bit.
A little shiny.
Yeah. We just got done recording a response video to some Reddit comments we got. Please see the video. It was one of our bonus videos on Saturdays. Again, just quick aside, if we may do some more of those bonus videos. We get a lot of comments, so we might turn into a comment show. Watch the video, let us know. At the very end, we talk about that. But for the most part, I brought up something to Joe that I thought he would be interested in. And when I told him, he was all smiles, all happiness, and he said, I want to hear more. I want to see this now. So,
like, literally before the show started, he put me into, like, a small, like, mild depression. And sometimes, like, when he says stuff, like, I'm okay with it, and it's fine, and I can get over it. But the news that he just told me right now, it's like everything in my life I've ever thought, like, why? And I wish I could be in the boardroom when people are discussing this. But this is probably the worst idea I've ever heard in my entire life. Okay,
so as you know, you've probably seen the trailers and posters that they're doing a Mummy reboot. Not the Mummy Brendan Fraser, the Mummy with now Tom Cruise. And also, I totally forgot, I spaced on the guy's name, the guy from Beautiful Mind. But
Russell Crowe?
Russell Crowe, yeah, thank you. I think that. Anyway, Russell Crowe.
They say he's from New Zealand and not Australia, and that Australia claims him as their own. What do you think about that?
I think he drinks and fights tugboats. That's
all
what
right.
I think. And that's from South Park. When he fights him and then the tugboat kills itself. Anyway, so the Mummy has Russell Crowe playing Dr. Jekyll. Dr. Jekyll, a.k.a. Mr. Hyde. So, Mummy, Frankenstein, the Mushroom Black Lagoon, Blob. These are all Universal movie monsters. Frankenstein, you see them all when you go to Universal Studios. You go on a tour, you see everybody walking around. So, it came out Dracula a couple years ago. It wasn't that good. They came out with a new that I Frankenstein. Not so good. The Mummy. I'm not sure how it's going to go. Putting Tom Cruise in something isn't always going to sell tickets. People were pretty mad with Jack Reacher because Jack Reacher, when he's in Jack Reacher movie, he used to be like 6 foot tall, and Tom Cruise is a short guy. And the people who
it reminds me of Tom Hardy as Bane. They had to shoot him at up angles all the time because he was so tiny for being Bane. It was like one of the worst casting decisions in movie history.
Just broke today. Tom Hardy is going to be Venom in a standalone Venom movie.
Okay, I could see him as Venom because remember,
that'd be a separate video.
Eddie Brock, which is Venom, right? Venom was supposed to be like a bigger, stronger version of Spider-Man, and then the symbiote attached to him made a bigger, stronger Spider-Man creature.
Yeah,
but there we go, being disjointed again.
Yeah, we got to talk about this.
Yes, this is the We Tell You show.
We'll circle back to the Venom on another show.
So yes, but he just as Bane, just ridiculous. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
But the most part I was getting to was, again, Dracula came out, Frankenstein came out, Mummy's coming out. What they're trying to do is essentially
make 1920s scary movie monsters scary again.
In Screamo-Vision.
When ever since the 1920s or 1930s, every single scary movie that's ever came out ever has had a scarier monster than these monsters.
And they wasn't from Universal.
And it wasn't from Universal. Yeah. So they're trying to take the most unscary monster. Is Swamp Man part of it too?
Swamp Thing? No,
Swamp Thing.
I think it's
the Swamp Monster.
No, Monster from Black Lagoon.
Okay, the creature from the that's right.
The creature from Black Lagoon. My apologies, monster.
That's hilarious. Like these monsters are so dated, like no one even cares anymore. They're not even scary in any circumstances. Even like the Mummy. I mean, what is the Mummy gonna do? Yeah, like not gonna work.
But anyway, as I mentioned, previous iterations, Dracula and Frankenstein, big name actors in them. Big name bombs in the actual release. They weren't that good. So anyway, what they're trying to do is essentially they're trying to make a Avengers of Universal. Like I say, Avengers is more of like a team up movie. Like they're gonna have all of them into one. They want to essentially move all of them into one or start crossing over. Versus movies, maybe versus people. We'll get people in the seats. I don't know. So as I mentioned, the new Mummy movie had Tom Cruise as some probably archaeologist guy who goes and does stuff because he's Tom Cruise. And then he has Russell Crowe playing Dr. Jekyll. Dr. Jekyll turns into Mr. Hyde. Dr. Jekyll's nice. Mr. Hyde is his evil personality. He comes out and he drinks a potion. He turns in the books. He turns like kind of gross looking, and he's but he's a doctor. But in Dr. Jekyll is a nice guy. He ends up killing like the woman he loves. It's a really weird, dark story. But they're trying to make a group movie, all these put together, and Joe was just so happy about that because he wants to see this happen.
He said that it was going to be the Avengers of movie monsters.
It was me a team up.
Now, the thing is that why does Marvel do everything right and DC and everyone else does everything wrong? Especially with these team up movies. Like,
I don't know.
Like, what was it? The Suicide Squad?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Did you watch that?
That was so stupid. I watched like 30 minutes of that movie and I was like, I'm not doing any more of this. I get it. It's really exciting to see your comic on screen that you never thought would be made.
Yeah. Like
Deadpool and stuff like that, right? But Deadpool was actually a good movie.
Even though it was Sony, not
the
Marvel.
Suicide Squad was a terrible, terrible movie. And Jared Leto as the Joker, like, it was, look at, there's been a lot of misses lately with DC, and putting, let's see, Batman, Ben Affleck, all that stuff. This is going to be worse. Like, you're having a bunch of movie monsters that aren't popular. Not a lot of people who are in our age range. Maybe you have to be like 50, 60, even 70 to know what these monsters are, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to the movies. They're not on the Netflix. And they have no idea.
You can tell they're going to the movies because, as I mentioned, the past movies have bombed. They've been horrible.
So when we're sitting here we're watching this stuff unfold. This is what I'm talking about all the time. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a huge failure right on its face. Just talking about it, just what they're doing with it. I'd be surprised if the project gets completed. Honestly, I would be surprised. Like if it could actually, if they actually complete the project, mm-hmm. they put the marketing out there, and they actually follow through with it, I'd be shocked.
You know what?
I'd be shocked.
You know what movie? The last movie that came out that had all of them together, the Monster Squad. Remember that movie?
No. What is this?
Monster Squad. Monster Squad was like the kids who had like Dracula and the Mummy and the werewolf, the Wolfman, like had them in real life, and they were like in a treehouse, and they were friends, and they were doing stuff. And I don't remember the plot because I tried to watch the movie and it was boring. It doesn't hold up. But I think the one line that is everybody knows is the Wolfman has nards, because when the kid kicks him in the balls, and he says the Wolfman has nards because the Wolfman goes and he cries and he falls down, and then Frankenstein looks at some naked girl and some girl changing in a treehouse.
I have a feeling that
it's like in the 90s though. 80s.
I have a feeling because of what Universal is doing, this will be our lowest viewed and lowest rated video ever, because
no one cares.
Even listening about it, I'm sure half the viewers have tuned out already, even listening to what the idea is for this.
Yes.
That should give you an idea how unpopular it is. So we're gonna have to talk about Trump or something to get the ratings up or get the boost going, because I'm just so down and out because of this. I can't deal with this.
I'm sorry.
We're 7 minutes in and I'm bored to pieces.
I'm done.
So
in Joe's opinion, there's no way that this will ever work ever. And
I'd be surprised if it gets done. The project gets completed. I'd be very surprised. Like,
no matter what actor's in it.
No matter what actor's in it.
There's not an actor alive that can save these movies.
The Rock, maybe.
The Rock is in Rampage.
Okay.
Rampage with the wolf, the monkey, and the dragon lizard. That's not a Universal movie. Man, they're making
a movie about that?
Yes. It's Rampage. The Rock's in it. Don't ask for it because you see what happens. You mention it and you got it. You didn't even know what's happening. And you got
How does Taylor find out about this stuff?
It's been all day online. I don't work. I work.
Was this on actual news or was it just like in a forum somewhere?
This is on for a while now. It's for a while. He's also playing Black Adam, which is Shazam's villain for DC. Okay,
I'm gonna throw a subject change because this is horrible. So, what do you think about we were talking about the football season, Madden coming up. You sent me a text earlier.
Foosball. Yep.
Tom Brady's making a car, the Homer. The Homer.
Tom Brady's going to make an Aston Martin his own design. That was part of his endorsement deal. He gets to make his own car.
Taylor read this news. I have to respond to it. So
I told Jill it's going to be like the Homer. If in The Simpsons, where the Homer makes the car, it's the ugliest car in the world. It has 2 big domes on it and has almost a crap called the Homer. I think it's called the Homer. But yeah, I think that's just the most childish, cartoonish car is going to come up from Tom Brady's head because he's been hit so many times, on the field.
Yeah, so that's the thing. That's really happening out there. Yeah. Also, did we go over this? That
I also mentioned that Aston Martins are not cheap. They're very expensive.
He does high-end product stuff all the time.
Yeah, so whoever he's being marketed to, the Aston Martin people, I'm not sure if they care about football or if they care about a name or like, oh, I got Aston Martin by Tom Brady. Where's my Giselle? I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. I'm not in football like that, like you are.
Not as much.
Oh.
Ever since the greatest team ever lost their perfect season, I haven't been in it. No, the Panthers. Ever since they lost their perfect season.
How many years ago was this?
It was 2015. You remember? That's right. The greatest team ever.
Live in the past.
I know.
Live in the now, Joe. Question for you, Joe. I want to ask. I'll ask you this. Maybe we'll curb the rest of our time on this show. Is ISIS still around?
ISIS.
Is ISIS still a thing? Our news is so much Trump right now in the news.
The Islamic extremist terrorist group? Is that
they taking a break? Is it like summer vacation for them? I've not seen anything in the news about ISIS at all. Like, are they getting like are they kicking back?
Taylor's referencing because while we do the We Tell You, I look at the news for the news update, and Trump's been on every slide so far, and we just keep laughing about it because we're trying not to talk about Trump because everyone talks about Trump just to boost their ratings and their view counts.
But I've heard nothing about ISIS. Nothing, even on Last Week Tonight, on Daily Show, the news monologues.
Apparently, if you watch the news, Trump is worse than ISIS, Hitler. He's worse than anything. He's worse than staph infection. He's worse than flesh-eating bacteria.
AIDS is taking a real step back.
Yeah, AIDS. Ever since Trump got elected, AIDS has been like on the back burner. Well, I mean, I actually know Charlie Sheen cured AIDS. That was actually in one of the news articles.
That was he was winning. He went all over that disease.
The NBA playoffs are happening. Who do you think's going to win? Do you care?
Next subject
over there.
And I am not a basketball fan. That's my specialty. I'm not. I got
something. Sorry.
We are literally scrolling through news right now.
I got something to touch on.
Reaching for a story.
Okay, so there's this guy because we don't care about basketball, but let's get into it. Let's just make some points about it. Okay, there's this guy right here, right? He's Lonzo Ball, right? Okay, have you heard about this?
No, I read it now.
So he's expected to go really high in the NBA draft next year. He's coming out of UCLA, and I'm pretty sure UCLA. Where is it? I don't even know.
Probably the story.
But his dad.
We already get yelled about for not having a script and not doing research.
His dad is saying, "This is the reaction show. We react to stuff live." His dad is basically they made a shoe, a custom shoe for his son. Okay, yeah, UCLA. So I was right. Hey, about something.
Hey, look at you.
And his dad was saying that in order to sign a co-branding deal, he wants $3 billion to sign a co-branding deal for the shoe.
The father or the son?
The father who runs his... Now, mind you, this is true in any sport or whatever. If you have a buddy or a relative running your business empire, it is a surefire success. Like every time. Like, just ask anyone who's ever gotten the shortest way of getting ripped off in their career is anyone who's let their family or friends in charge of their business empire.
I know we're going to talk about this, but even the momager, Kris Jenner, is ripping off the Kardashians.
Momager, in some ways she is.
We all know it's true.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, so $3 billion. What do you think about that for a shoe?
And then, again, that's just for the father, not for the father and the son, or is that just?
He's marketing his son's stuff. He's
so $3 billion. They gave LeBron. Nike gave LeBron $100 million, right?
Well, they get when they give LeBron money for stuff like that, they're part of the machine, the Nike or whatever the machine is.
But that includes that. For that amount of money, he's going to do X amount of commercials, shoots, whatever, he's going to be promoting that brand and only wear that brand.
Supposedly, if you do like a LeBron with Nike and stuff like that, they're worth more money together because they're the best, he's the best. They're co-branding together, right?
Yeah.
So what they want to do with this deal is they don't want to get paid. They want to do a co-branding deal where his shoe is co-branded with their shoe and they do profit sharing on it. So
I never heard of this guy, so I'm not sure. Unless you follow...
I've only heard about him because his dad keeps saying crazy stuff on the on all the sports talk shows. Like he was insulting... There was a female reporter the other day and he was insulting her. It's just like a bunch of stuff. He's just going nuts. Basically, he was kind of an athlete. His son is a major athlete, and you know how those dads are.
These are more of the I couldn't make it, so you will, and I'm going to live through you. So give me money for. He
kind of sort of made it, but not really made it. So over there. What about this? We gotta get this view count up because of this Universal thing that really damages part of the video. What about Trump and the FBI stuff with?
Hey, you want to do that now? The Comey
with Comey stuff.
Oh, and today came out that the memo that was read off by an American federal government person. Saying that Trump was good about called him a nut job, and that he was happy that the pressure was off him for the investigation. So what does that mean? I don't know. I think he's innocent.
It means that that Trump's the greatest thing that he does that I just like love is that
Twitter.
He tells everybody, "I want you to handle this. What is said. I want you to come up with a story. I want you to give me a good reason of what went down. And then as soon as I'm interviewed, the first thing I'm going to do is refute everything that was given to me immediately." Because I don't think, like he said, it wasn't part of the Russia investigation.
Yeah.
But then he went on and did an interview where he said it was because of the Russia investigation that just a bunch of funny stuff going on.
Do you think he doesn't remember what he says? He says things off the top of his head and says, "Okay, that sounds good," but then when he put into pressure, he says, "I probably shouldn't have said that, and I'm going to act like I never said it." And
I think it's one of those things where he probably made a lot of sense before everyone was following him around recording him full time.
You think he's flustered? Like he loses train of thought, and he has to go. He has to commit to whatever he says. So when he says something, he says, "Crap, I can't redact it in an interview, so I'm gonna have to just go with it."
Yeah, that's what I think he does. I think basically it's really good in person when you're talking to people the way he speaks, but when you're recording it and you're under the microscope and people can just play back what you said yesterday and they say, "Hey, what you said was completely wrong." He's just not very good at that.
Yeah.
I know we got lots of other stuff here.
As you scroll through,
as I scroll through everything,
we'll do one more than one in the video. As we just did a hoopla of people here.
We're just updating you on the news. That's what we're doing over here.
As today.
So Aaron Rodgers broke up with Olivia Munn. He'll probably win the Super Bowl this year. After that
was a long
because we know she was just straight holding him back. We already knew that.
Currently, she is shooting a Predator movie.
If you watched our podcast before, I was very against Olivia Munn dating Aaron Rodgers. I thought she was doing it just for publicity or just
But then she was in an X-Men movie and she didn't talk much. So,
well, that's the best acting I've ever seen her do.
Hey,
so Colin Kaepernick, he's in the news too.
I like the Niners. Is he still the Niners? I thought he's going to get traded.
This is so funny. Is he still on the Niners? This is like me talking about video games. This is the same thing.
Is it still? Yeah. No. I'm saying like I see. Okay, he's pitched there, but I haven't seen any news about him being traded. I know it was a talk that he didn't get played much at the very end, whether because sitting down or not, but he didn't get played a lot.
He was really good. Then Jed York, who is just a horrible GM, just a horrible owner. I think what's his name? John Lynch is now the GM for the Niners, and Jed York is just he's like 30 something, right? And he's just a kid, and he runs the whole franchise.
He's younger than us. That's sad.
He's an idiot. Like this guy, he's the one who after Jim Harbaugh took the Niners to the Super Bowl and had 3 NFC Championship appearances in a row and had an 8-8 season. He decided to fire him because that was
of the par.
That was basically like he was heading his team in the wrong direction. Then as he fired him, half of the team retired or left because they had no confidence in the football team being together, being able to win games after that. Colin Kaepernick stayed, and the team was so bad he became a devout Muslim. Did you know that?
No.
Like the team was so bad, he converted to Muslim, and he became a devout follower, and he decided to join in prayer. Remember, he was taking a knee the whole time and wasn't in the Pledge of Allegiance. And the 49ers ruined Kaepernick so much. His only solace he found was in religion. Literally, this guy found Allah, God in the Muslim religion. He had to find God because his team was so bad.
And literally, I still watched him. I was still a fan.
What does that say about Jed York's management skills? That the only comfort that Colin Kaepernick had was in finding religion.
Jed York is the devil. Apparently.
Because apparently, Jed York is so bad at his job that he will single-handedly convert you to another faith, because the only thing that will stop you from hating yourself for staying on the 49ers after everyone left is devoting yourself to civil work and another religion. That really happened. Your owner did that. Okay. He did that.
Quick aside there. Okay, quick question.
Nothing against it. I'm just telling you that this. Yeah, he was never religious before this, and all of a sudden,
I'm sure he was, but he wasn't this devout as he is now into his religion.
I mean, he found God because of Jed York.
Most people don't. Most people look at their lives. Their lives trying to find God. But let me ask you this: before we end, really this time. Before we end, when you talk about the Panthers, do you say the team or my team, my Panthers?
They are my Panthers because I am the only fan. So
it's a possibility.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I figure people always say it's funny to see people when they talk about sports teams when they say the blank or my blank. Like when you say my, like you take responsibility, like you are part of the team, or we say that means I'm not sure. The disconnect that single phrasing of the or my says a lot about you and what you feel about that team. I don't know. I thought it's weird.
So that's We Tell You. A very disjointed episode.
That was a lot of We Tell You.
Very random stuff thrown at you there. Catch you up on the news, stuff like that. We'll stick to some stronger subjects on the next couple episodes, but we had to take a mental break from the verbal thrashing I gave to all our Reddit fans.
Not really thrashing. You gave him praise too.
Yes.
Joe says thrashing because he wants to be all Joey.
Or I want you to watch the video.
Yeah, or watch the video. That's fine. You know what? I think next week we'll talk about Tom Hardy. It's a nice, good Venom, and I'll give my thoughts on what I think that the story should be.
I'm just saying, if they thought he was a good Bane, they wouldn't have filmed him from the bottom up.
Well, now he's going to be Eddie Brock. So we'll talk about it next week. Come back.
He's 5'5" in real life. I don't know if you guys know that.
Cool.
Exactly. There's our notes for the show. Thank you.